Hello. So I'm going to make my mince stuff. Probably not tomorrow, probably the day after, because in here I have black beans soaking in water. They're awesome. Once they're ready, absolutely fantastic. Now I'm missing something here, and that is green peppers. I've got mushrooms, onions, garlic, and I've got tins of stuff. And in the fridge, mincemeat. Now, certain things you want to be tinned because it just really works well that way, but some things you really want fresh. So I'm going to be frying up these mushrooms, sauteing them, in fact, sauteing the onions with balsamic vinegar and lobbing in some fresh garlic as well. But like tin tomatoes, fantastic, got to use those. Peas, absolutely, and even carrots. You can go fresh or tinned on carrots, doesn't matter, makes no difference really. Certain things need to be fresh. So I'll see you 2 days. Also, I'm not wearing any trousers. So I'm going to make mincemeat stuff. I guess it's kind of like a chili con carne type thing. So I've had some black beans sitting in that pot for 24 hours so far, and I've changed the water twice, so 3 changes of water in total. I have awesome spaghetti de cecco. I mean, I don't know if that's how it's actually pronounced, but I think it is. Fantastic spaghetti. Got mushrooms, fresh mushrooms, green pepper, onions, garlic, tomato puree, and some oxo cubes, and a fucking fly that needs to piss off now. And certain things that work really well from a can, actually. So chopped tomatoes, garden peas, and carrots. Those actually are better from a can than fresh. Stay tuned. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to, after having soaked the beans for roughly 24 hours, as I said, with multiple water changes, I'm going to boil them. I'm going to boil them for a long time, so I'm not going to make you wait and watch. So I'll see you in a bit. So I've moved the beans over onto there, and in the interim what I can do is start looking at dealing with some other elements, and I do deal with these elements separately, because when I combine them later and then leave them to integrate, it really works so well. So now we're going to do onions. So I've chopped up some onions. Yeah. Chopped up these onions. I've got this on 5 at the moment. And what I'm going to do now is to add some oil, olive oil, always, or most of the time, that's the preferred option. There we go. Just moving it all around so that the olive oil really covers all of it. It's on 5 now, it was on 9 by the way, that's why it sizzled. Maximum heat, and then I lowered the heat. Move that around a bunch. And now the bit that really adds a little twist to the flavor of the entire dish is this. Balsamic vinegar. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to pour a bunch of that in here. And that will caramelize the onions, giving them a real sweet taste. Yeah. Keep stirring the beans. And we'll come back in a bit. Bye. Since we last spoke, it's only been a few minutes, and the red onions are starting to caramelize beautifully. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to chop up some garlic. I'm going to add it to that, and I'm not going to be shy either. And just chunks of garlic. It doesn't have to be too fine. And I'll throw that in, probably lower the temperature a little bit and let that soak in. Okay? So these are starting to saute very nicely. Quick tip, after you've cut onions or garlic and you need to clean your hands. Don't use hot water, don't use soap, because they bind that to your skin. You want to use cold water and just keep rinsing, and I'll tell you what, the smell goes away. It's awesome. So let's get some mushrooms going here. We want to saute those too, and we're going to throw some more oil in there in a moment. So I'm just going to rip this apart. Don't bother cutting it or getting too fancy, just rip it apart. That's all you need to do. So we're going to rip that up. Bunch of mushrooms. These are the things that you want fresh as opposed to the tinned stuff. This is the stuff that really makes a difference if you use the fresh. Honestly, tinned mushrooms just don't work so well, I should say. So it's going to rip these up here. Just get that going here. What I'll do is I'll add a little bit of oil, make sure everything's covered, saute the hell out of it, and we'll get back in a moment. Hello! So I've put all, okay, we don't need those anymore. I put everything in that pot because that's going to be actually where it all happens in the end. So now, and this is the last thing I'm going to use as fresh, which is green peppers. Green peppers, I want those to be last because I'm going to barely saute them. I'm just going to saute them for a little bit because when I'm done, I'm going to be letting that simmer for a bunch of time, and these guys are going to give a little bit of crunch, not just flavour, crunch as well. So I'm going to saute those for a bit, and then I'm going to throw them in that pot, and then we're going to do the mince. And then I'll be back. Hello pretties. So here's what I'm going to do next. I've thrown the green peppers in that pot. time to add the mince. And by the way, yes, I washed my hands, like loads. So we've got a little bit of oil in there still, so it's fine. So I'm just going to rip that up here a little bit. Probably enough actually, so I'm just going to put the rest of that away. I'm going to want that little fellow as well. This is Dave's Ultimate Insanity Sauce. I always like that. So let's brown this up here. What I'm going to need to do is throw a little bit of olive oil in here. A little bit, there we go. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to throw a couple of OXO cubes in. So let's get that going. Making beef even more beef somehow. It does really make it taste great. So OXO cubes going in. God damn it. Fuck's sakes. Right, there we go. 2 OXO cubes. Just rip those apart. Again, stir the beans. Just periodically. And let's get the mince going here. I'm going to turn that heat up a little bit, so I want to get this darkened quite quickly. And yeah, no long sleeve tops today, it's too damn warm. Alright, I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep doing that and not make you have to watch it. So I adjusted the heat up to full so I could shift this stuff around. Just keep moving it, you don't want it to burn. And I've now moved the temperature down to what? 4, there we go. I added some salt, a little bit of salt and pepper and some mixed herbs. And now the idea is to keep moving, keep shifting it until there's no red left. So the mince is done, because if you add this to the pot and cook it in there, you end up with like really mushy mince. It's horrible. This way, solid, got some good gumption. So now I'm going to throw in some tomato paste. That'll do. And I'm going to move that around. Now if you like it spicy, and you might not, so you might want to miss the next stage, you might want to add a little bit of hot sauce. It's up to you. I quite like a little bit of oomph, a little bit of spice to it. So I am going to do exactly that. So there we go. That tomato paste is starting to mix in across the board. Keep moving it. Just keep moving it. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of the old Dave's Ultimate Insanity Sauce. Not too much. I don't want it to rip my head off. That'll do. I don't know, it's like 5 drops or whatever. Doesn't matter. If you're unsure, add less, because you can always add more later. Now that goes for all ingredients. Alright, so I'm going to keep shifting that around. Black beans need quite a bit longer. That's okay. because I can set everything else in motion in the interim. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to throw in chopped tomatoes, peas, carrots, chopped tomatoes. Yeah, okay, that's it. Into that mix. And I'm just going to let them sit until those are ready, which could be another hour, I don't know. I just keep checking, and if the beans aren't soft, they're not ready. So we'll get to that, and then the pasta. So, see you in a bit. Alright, so beans are ready. I've thrown them in the pot with everything else, and now I'm going to let that simmer like for ages. Honestly, the longer you let it simmer, at the moment it's on a very high heat, so I can come back up to boil. As soon as it starts boiling, I'll turn that heat right down and just leave it to simmer for probably, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour.